What is Ethereum and why is it important? With Ethereum, users may conduct transactions, stake their holdings to earn interest, utilize and hold non-fungible tokens or NFTs, trade cryptocurrencies, play games, access social media, and much more. Ethereum is a decentralized blockchain network powered by the Ether token. Welcome to Crypto Inquiry, where we are dedicated to providing you, the investor, and the crypto curious with factual information and topics. Our goal is to keep you informed to make educated and timely decisions and remove the fog of hidden information. Nothing is meant as financial advice, and always do your own research before investing. Here we are building a community to help each other stay informed and make the most of our financial gains. Ethereum is often referred to as the next phase of the internet. A decentralized, user-powered network like Ethereum is Web 3.0. If centralized platforms like Apple's App Store are Web 2.0. Decentralized apps or Dapps, decentralized finance or DeFi, and decentralized exchanges or DEXs, for example, are supported by this next generation web. How does a transaction work? The Ethereum network, like Bitcoin, runs on thousands of computers globally because users act as nodes rather than a single central server. As a result, the network is decentralized, very resistant to assaults, and basically immune to failure. It makes little difference if one computer fails because the network can function without hundreds of others. In essence, Ethereum is a single decentralized infrastructure that powers the Ethereum virtual machine, or EVM. Every node has a copy of that computer. Therefore, all interactions must be validated before any updates can be made to anyone's copy. Otherwise known as transactions, network interactions are recorded as blocks on the Ethereum blockchain. Before admitting them to the network and serving as a digital ledger or transaction history, miners validate these blocks. Proving transactions by mining is referred to as proof of work consensus technique. Each block is identified by a special 64-digit code. Computer miners devote their resources to fixing such code, demonstrating its exclusivity. Miners are compensated in ETH for their efforts by using their computer power as proof of that network. Additionally, all Ethereum transactions are completely public, just like Bitcoin. To validate the modification and add the finished blocks to everyone's copy of the ledger, miners transmit the blocks to the remainder of the network. Confirmed blocks operate as a complete record of all network transactions since they cannot be altered. What causes the gas issue, and why is the merge necessary? But where does that ETH come from if miners are rewarded for their labor? The person starting the transaction is responsible for paying the gas associated with each transaction. The miner that validates the transaction receives that fee, which encourages more mining and maintains network security. Gas effectively functions as a restriction, regulating the number of activities a user can do each transaction. Additionally, network spam is prevented by it. ETH has an indefinite supply since it's primarily a utility token rather than a token of value. Ether regularly enters the market as miner rewards, and after the network switches to proof of stake, it will also do so as staking incentives. Since there would theoretically always be a market for Ether, inflation shouldn't ever make the currency useless. Unfortunately, depending on network traffic, Ethereum gas costs can be rather expensive. This is because each block has a limited quantity of gas, which changes according to the kinds of qualities of transactions. Users are fighting to validate transactions first because miners will select transactions with the greatest gas prices as a consequence. This rivalry drives up prices and chokes the network during peak hours. Although it is being addressed in Ethereum 2.0, network congestion is a serious issue. The merge should be successful in the developer's opinion for a number of reasons. The first is environmental. According to experts at the Ethereum Foundation, the network's energy consumption would decrease by more than 99% since miners won't have an economic motivation to operate computers consistently. The increase in energy efficiency could benefit industry. Due to Ethereum's massive carbon footprint, several conventional businesses and investment firms have voiced hesitation about investing completely in it. Corporate adoption may quicken if the merger goes off without a hitch, especially among organizations with environmental, social, and governance, aka ESG, obligations. Due to its hefty fees and traffic, many more prospective users have shied away from Ethereum. Some customers were forced to pay hundreds of dollars in transaction fees since the network wasn't prepared for the sudden increase of users that occurred in 2021. Although the merge won't rid of those fees, Ethereum developers claim that it will pave the way for the introduction of new technologies that will help the network expand. Sharding, which divides the network's data into smaller chunks to make the network quicker and more affordable to use, is the most important technique. How do dApps involve Ethereum? Ethereum demands cryptocurrency, which is kept in a wallet to be used. That wallet serves as the Ethereum ecosystem's passport by connecting to dApps, aka decentralized apps. From there, anybody may carry out a variety of actions, exactly like they can on a conventional internet, including making purchases, playing games, lending money, and so on. Users only pay for the conventional web because they are disclosing personal information. Centralized organizations that operate websites then sell that data to generate revenue. Here, cryptocurrency replaces data, allowing users to explore and communicate privately. dApp use is hence non-discriminatory. No banking or lending dApp, for instance, can reject a user on the basis of their ethnicity or financial situation. Users control whatever they do and the way they do it, which is why so many believe Ethereum to be Web 3.0, the future of web interaction. An intermediary cannot stop what they deem a suspicious transaction. Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Although Bitcoin is the cryptocurrency that is most widely used, the Ethereum community wants to advance the project. The former is intended to be used as digital money, and it accomplishes this very well so far. However, Bitcoin has several drawbacks. Some people think that this proof-of-work network, which struggles to expand, is more of a store of value, like gold. Additionally, Bitcoin has a hard ceiling of 21 million coins, which strengthens that case. However, Ethereum aims to replace the present internet infrastructure. Many procedures that currently call on middlemen, like utilizing an app store or consulting with fund managers, are going to be automated. Although it may be used to send money, ETH is the most commonly used to communicate with the network. A special ERC20 token, compatible with Ether, may be created for each dApp by developers using the Ethereum platform. All Ethereum-based tokens are therefore technically interoperable, despite the fact that the process isn't flawless. The network of Bitcoin is only for Bitcoin. Ether and Ethereum and Gwei. What's the difference? With Ether, you may conduct financial transactions, invest, or utilize it as a store of wealth. The blockchain network on which Ether is stored and traded is called Ethereum. In addition to ETH, this network provides a number of additional services, as was already indicated. This can be simple movements of funds, but they may also be complex transactions that do anything from exchanging assets to taking out loans to acquiring a piece of digital art, says Boa Avital, head of product at Anchorage. The transactions are processed and stored on the Ethereum network. The Ethereum network may be used to run decentralized apps and store data. People can host apps on the Ethereum blockchain instead of hosting them on a server that is owned and controlled by Google or Amazon, where one business owns the data. Due to the lack of centralized authority overseeing everything, users have control of the data and may freely use the app. Self-executing contracts, often known as smart contracts, are among the most exciting applications of Ethereum. Two parties agree to supply products or services in the future, just as in any other contract. Lawyers are not required, unlike traditional contracts, because the parties code their contract on the Ethereum blockchain. It self-executes and sends the relevant party a certain amount of Ether when the contract's requirements are satisfied. One Gwei, often known as Gwei or gas fee, is equal to 0.00000001 ETH. Users must choose a gas limit when placing an order, which is the most that they are prepared to spend to get their transaction entered into the blockchain. The price of gas increases as more users engage in transactions on the network. Why do so many tokens rely on the Ethereum blockchain? Ethereum offers several advantages besides decentralization and privacy, such as freedom from censorship. For instance, Twitter has the option to remove inflammatory messages and penalize the offending user. On an Ethereum-based social networking site, however, that is only possible if the community approves of it. Users with various points of view can interact as they see fit in this fashion, and the public can determine what should and shouldn't be spoken. Additionally, community standards prevent undesirable actors from seizing control. To make a change, someone with ulterior motives would need to have 51% of the network, which is typically quite difficult. Compared to a straightforward server that can be hacked, it is significantly safer. Then there are smart contracts, which on the conventional web automate many of the actions conducted by central authority. On Upwork, for instance, a freelancer must utilize the site to locate clients and establish payment agreements. The business strategy of Upwork uses a portion of each contract to finance its staff, server expenses, etc. The conditions are hard-coded into the agreement and cannot be changed once put on Web 3.0. Thus, a client may easily build a smart contract that reads, if the job is handed in at X time, the money will be released. Additionally, obtaining Ether is now simpler than ever. Businesses like PayPal and its Venmo subsidiary enable the instant purchase of cryptocurrency using fiat money. Millions of users on each platform mean that they will inevitably become engaged sooner rather than later. That's a wrap for this video. Let us know in the comments below if you think Ethereum will soon become more important and relevant than Bitcoin. If you enjoyed this video, give us a big thumbs up. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel if you want to see more videos like these. See you next time.